Yahya Sinwar was not a name on everyone's lips, but in the labyrinthine world of Middle Eastern politics, his was a whisper that carried weight. Born in a refugee camp in Gaza, Sinwar became a founding member of Hamas, the Palestinian Islamic fundamentalist organization. His commitment to the cause was absolute, his methods ruthless. Sinwar was a man forged by conflict. He believed in armed resistance against Israel, a stance that saw him rise through the ranks of Hamas. He was known for his strategic mind, his ability to plan and execute complex operations. To his followers, he was a hero, a symbol of defiance. To Israel, he was a terrorist, a mastermind of violence. Sinwar's early years were marked by poverty and displacement, experiences that would shape his worldview. He witnessed firsthand the hardships faced by Palestinians in the refugee camps. These experiences fueled his anger, his resentment towards Israel. He saw armed struggle as the only path to liberation. In 1988, Sinwar's life took a dramatic turn. He was arrested by Israeli authorities and charged with involvement in the kidnapping and killing of 2 Israeli soldiers. The arrest sent shockwaves through Hamas, robbing them of a key strategist. Sinwar was sentenced to 4 life terms, a punishment that seemed to mark the end of his reign of terror. Yet even behind bars, Sinwar remained a potent symbol. He continued to exert influence within Hamas, his words smuggled out of prison, his guidance shaping the organization's strategy. He became a figure of inspiration for young Palestinians, a living embodiment of resistance. His time in prison did little to soften his stance. He emerged unrepentant, his resolve hardened by years of confinement. He was ready to resume his fight, to lead Hamas in its struggle against Israel. In 2011, after more than 2 decades in prison, Yahya Sinwar was released as part of a prisoner exchange deal between Israel and Hamas. His return to Gaza was greeted with jubilation by his followers. He was hailed as a conquering hero, a testament to the enduring spirit of resistance. Sinwar's release marked a turning point for Hamas. He quickly consolidated his power, his years of imprisonment only enhancing his image as a fearless leader. He oversaw the rebuilding of Hamas's military capabilities, his focus unwavering to confront Israel. His leadership was not without its critics. Some within Hamas questioned his hardline stance, fearing it would only lead to more suffering for the people of Gaza. But Sinwar was undeterred, his vision clear, his commitment absolute. Section 4. Architect of Terror. Under Sinwar's leadership, Hamas intensified its campaign of terror against Israel. Rocket attacks became more frequent, more indiscriminate. Tunnels were dug, weapons smuggled in, all under his watchful eye. He became the architect of a new wave of violence, a grim testament to his years spent plotting behind bars. He was a master of propaganda, skilled at exploiting the suffering of Palestinians to further his agenda. He understood the power of images, the impact of a single photograph of a grieving mother or a wounded child. He used these images to fuel the flames of hatred, to rally support for Hamas's cause. The international community condemned Sinwar's tactics, labeling him a terrorist, but he remained defiant, unmoved by the criticism. He believed he was fighting a righteous war, a war for the liberation of his people. Section 5. Operation Iron Dome's toll. The night sky over Gaza blazed with the fiery trails of rockets. It was a scene repeated with chilling regularity, a deadly testament to the enduring conflict. But on this night, something was different. Israeli intelligence had tracked Sinwar to a heavily fortified bunker deep beneath the streets of Gaza City. Operation Iron Dome, as it was known, was swift and precise. Israeli aircraft, guided by sophisticated intelligence, targeted the bunker with pinpoint accuracy. The explosion that followed was deafening, collapsing the structure and burying those inside under tons of rubble. When the dust settled, the news rippled across the region. Yahya Sinwar, the leader of Hamas, was dead. Section 6. The Aftermath and the Uncertain Future. The death of Yahya Sinwar sent shockwaves through Gaza and beyond. Hamas, while vowing revenge, found themselves rudderless, their leader gone. Israel, though claiming victory, knew that Sinwar's demise was unlikely to end the cycle of violence. The streets of Gaza erupted in a mix of mourning and anger. Some saw Sinwar as a martyr, his death fueling their desire for resistance. Others, dared to hope that his demise might pave the way for a new leadership, one less committed to conflict. In the halls of power, from Washington to Tel Aviv, the mood was cautious. The removal of Sinwar was a significant development, but the underlying issues remained. The question now was whether his death would serve as a catalyst for peace or simply another chapter in the long and bloody conflict.